here as a service animal, just waiting.
There she is. Kate Beckinsale's got a +1 for today's screen time. And we've got the stories that define the week on People in 10. I'm Andrea Belke, bringing you everything you need to know about pop culture right now. We've got 10 minutes, so let's dive right in with the first 5, starting with a tragic update in a trending story on People.com. Human remains found in a forest have been identified as missing United Airlines executive Jake Cifolia. According to a press release, the 50-year-old was found in the Waterfall Glen Forest Preserve in Lamont, Illinois. He had worked for United for nearly 15 years. Police say there were no signs of foul play and that Cifolia was found hanging by a belt from a tree. He was first reported missing in August of 2020 after his ex-wife told authorities he failed to show up for his night with their kids. A law enforcement source previously revealed to NBC5 Chicago that Cifolia was under investigation at the time of his disappearance, but would not share any further details. In one of 2 People cover stories this week, we're learning more about the tragic shooting on the Rust film set.
The Santa Fe District Attorney's Office says that criminal charges are actually on the table as investigators continue to look for answers.
No one has been ruled out at this point.
Last week, cinematographer Helena Hutchins was killed and director Joel Souza injured when Alec Baldwin fired a prop gun on the New Mexico set. Questions have since swirled over what led to the deadly incident.
According to a search warrant affidavit, Assistant Director David Halls handed Alec the gun for a rehearsal scene and yelled "cold gun," indicating that it was not loaded and safe to handle. The affidavit states that neither of them knew that the gun had live ammunition.
In the wake of the accident, a crew member shared a last photo of Hutchins before she was shot, writing that her death was the result of, quote, negligence and unprofessionalism. A heartbroken Baldwin released a statement as well.
Sources tell People that Alec is absolutely devastated, still in shock, and that he's leaning on his family for support. He's also canceling a lot of upcoming projects.
The incident has drawn comparisons to the fatal shooting of actor Brandon Lee in 1993 on the set of The Crow.
Brandon's fiancée Eliza Hutton broke her silence to People, calling the Rust shooting another avoidable tragedy.
Switching gears to this week's Kindness Issue cover story, as Angelina Jolie reveals what her kids have taught her about helping others. The mom of 6 says their kindness has been very healing, and she's proud of her diverse family for being great people.
I felt so blessed to be able to be a mother to children from different parts of the world and to learn about their cultures through them and to see them be a family and to see them learn from each other. They are different, and how that's grown each of them is such a blessing. And so I've only seen diversity as strength.
And while Angelina is changing the world in real life with her humanitarian work, she's playing a superhero in Marvel's Eternals. But she can't quite figure out what her kids think about her character, Thena.
They said they liked her because she felt like me. But then thinking of all the different things of her, I'm not sure what that exactly means about how my children see me.
Now onto the Instagrams you've been loving this week. Megan Thee Stallion is a Grammy winner, a collaborator with some of the biggest names in music, and soon she'll be a college graduate. The 26-year-old teased the big day with photos of a bedazzled graduation cap, clearly inspired by her hit single, Hot Girl Summer. And make way for Mr. and Mrs. El Moussa. Tarek El Moussa and Heather Ray Young took fans behind the scenes as they tied the knot, with her famous friends, including Heather's Selling Sunset co-stars, by the happy couple's side. And speaking of brides, Paris Hilton can rock a wedding dress.
Hey bitches, look who's getting married.
Even if it's made of toilet paper. Her friends created the delicate gown in just 5 minutes at an intimate backyard bridal brunch, channeling 80s chic with padded shoulders and a braided headband. We gotta say it, that's hot. We're continuing to feature women who have helped shine a light on mental health. Brought to you by Maybelline New York, Brave Together.
I don't think people understand the magnitude of what I go through.
Simone Biles is the most decorated gymnast of all time. But at this summer's Tokyo Olympics, she made headlines for withdrawing from several events to focus on her mental health.
To do something that I've done forever and just not be able to do it because of everything I've gone through is really crazy, because I love this sport so much. But it's hard, I'm sorry.
She's also a survivor of sexual abuse.
I blame Larry Nassar. And I also blame an entire system that enabled and
perpetrated his abuse.
And the Olympian says her mental health struggles can make her mind and body go out of sync. But she's not letting that stop her from using her platform to help others.
To go through everything that I've gone through, put on a front, I'm proud of myself, and I'm happy that I can be a leader for the survivors and bring courage to everybody speaking up.
I'm so happy to see Simone putting herself first. All right, now let's move on to some screen time. I'm so excited to be joined now by Kate Beckinsale. She's starring in the new series Guilty Party, which airs Thursdays on Paramount+.
I just feel like, when do we ever get to write a story that's great and also redeems a human life?
For these final 5 minutes of the show, I'm gonna ask you 5 questions. For the first question, you have to give me 1 answer. For the second question, you have to give me 2 answers, and so on. Let's get started. You play Beth Burgess, a journalist trying to help prove the innocence of Toni Plimpton, a woman accused of murdering her husband. So give me 1 reason you felt that Guilty Party was the perfect show for you.
It had so many different elements and tones in it.
But that's not the whole story.
It's got drama, it's got mystery, it's got dark, weird comedy.
You look educated, but you're coming off lightweight dumb, for real.
It's got quite touching female friendship.
I love you.
It's got all sorts of things in it.
Obviously.
Are you a fan of true crime in real life? Do you consume that sort of material?
I mean, most days, when I get homesick, I tend to try and watch British true crime and British serial killers, which is weird. I think everyone started doing that during the pandemic. It's an odd sort of self-soothing.
Your character, Beth, is a woman who is willing to do whatever it takes to get to the bottom of a story. She takes a lot of risks, and I imagine she's very fun to play. So what are 2 of the most exciting parts of playing her?
She's at a point in her life where she's very reckless. So she ends up with her entire foot in a woman's mouth.
Oh, God. Oh, my God.
Where she wasn't expecting it. And she shows up in the middle of an incredibly weird themed wedding and is almost shocked by the bridal party.
What was the biggest challenge to playing this role?
The biggest challenge, honestly, was the weather. We shot it in Calgary. And Calgary's not for the faint-hearted in terms of being there in the wintertime. The other greatest challenge, unfortunately, was that none of us got to really meet each other or know each other outside of the scenes because of COVID protocols. The fact that we all loved each other so much and are still in touch is either because we didn't really get to know each other or because we all liked each other so much it transcended that.
All right, bonus question 2. Beth is told in the first episode,
You need to find your spark.
which she does with this new case. So what are 2 things in your real life that give you that spark or zest for life?
My daughter and gay men.
So you mentioned your daughter, Lily. What's one of your favorite mother-daughter bonding moments that you've had recently?
My daughter and I have a very similar warped sense of humor. She's funnier than me. She's sort of the queen of getting it. I know any kind of situation that's upsetting me, bothering me, making me laugh, of everyone in the whole world, Lily's gonna get it. And the other thing that is amazing is that she can do that dancing the silk up in a hoop. I find it extraordinary that something that came out of my uterus is ever capable of doing that.
In addition to being a real mom to your daughter Lily, you're also quite the pet mom. Your Instagram is full of photos and videos of the fluffiest cats and dog I've ever seen. So what are 3 of your favorite activities to do with your pets?
Obviously is snuggling, cuddling, squeezing. 2 is dressing them up. I also like traveling with them. I took them to Calgary for 5 months when I shot this show. None of them had seen snow before.
What do you think?
So that was really exciting. That was like being in, a Disney movie. Here as a service animal, just waiting.
There she is. Does she love the show?
She does. She feels very much she was a part of it, that she was there. So she's deeply involved and invested.
After her fall from grace, your character starts working for Pop Bite News, which is all about pop culture headlines. Now, it's not exactly what Beth wants to be doing, but she's trying to embrace it. Well, here at People in 10, we are pop culture lovers. So what are 4 of your pop culture or entertainment guilty pleasures?
I'm very obsessed with English reality shows, and my favourite one, is not on anymore, was Celebrity Big Brother.
Oh, God.
And they used to have it twice a year, and now I don't know what to do with myself. I have guilt about liking Love Island.
It'll be harder to go on holidays. Yeah, I think so. Oh, I love my holidays.
And I have no guilt about loving the Great British Bake Off.
On your marks, get set, bake.
This is very soothing to me. I do love Celeste Barber, because she mocks all of us all the time.
And finally, what are 5 things that fans can expect to see in the new series, Guilty Party?
They're going to see me breaking into a house. They're going to see romance.
I love you.
They're going to see arguments.
Oh, I know you're not playing me.
How do I know you're not a murderer?
They're going to see female friendship.
Oh, you're so sweet.
And they're going to see Andre Highland, who is one of the funniest people alive.
What's Wu-Tang time, baby? Shout me.
Kate, thank you so much for being here. And everyone, be sure to check out Guilty Party, airing Thursdays on Paramount+. All right, time's up. See you next Thursday.